T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're listening to The Twisted 10, bringing you original and unique, host-created top 10 lists, recorded live in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida, with hosts Tach Van Sickle and Adam Poston.
All right, welcome to the next episode of The Twisted 10. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Adam Poston. Sitting across from me is my boy.
I am Tach Van Sickle.
What up, Tach? How are you?
I'm super. How are you?
I'm doing good. And sitting in studio with us as a guest this week, but not guest host, she's just sitting in with us as listening to my Twisted 10 list, is Andrea Joy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm very good.
I must say, I really did like your episode last week on the twisted laws that are still in place across the states. That was a pretty good episode.
I guess that's why you let me come in tonight.
This is her third time on the show, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Starting to become a regular thing.
No, don't get too comfortable.
I can't get enough of you guys. You guys are just too fabulous.
So let me get right into it, Tach. What's one of the things that you enjoy doing when you come over to the Twisted 10 studios?
Well, you always seem to cater each event.
Okay.
So that's always nice.
Catering's good. So food. Okay. What else? What else do you enjoy partaking in when you're here? Vaping. Okay. That's fine. What else?
Well, I was going to say it. I just didn't know if that's where you were
fine.
getting it. I enjoy Andrea Joy.
Okay. And we're kind of beating around the bush. Consumption of a product sometimes. What else do you consume in the studio?
I get it. You buy everything from me.
No.
I enjoy drinking my wine.
There we go.
Oh, well, I don't drink wine. I drink Coke Zero.
You drink some beer when you come over here too.
Oh, yeah, every once in a while.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
And a whiskey.
And whiskey, bourbon. You had a bourbon over here one time. You had a Jack and Coke a long time back.
Yeah, I think I did. Like my first time here.
Oh, don't be shy, Tach.
No, my first time here, I did. You're right.
All right. So this week on the Twisted 10,
Yeah.
I'm presenting you with the twisted drinking traditions or games from around the world.
Ooh, do we have to play each one?
Interesting.
I would like to play each one of these. So these are drinking games or traditions. It's a mix of both.
Right.
From some are in the U.S. and some are from all over the world. So there is a twist to this episode.
I was going to ask you, is there a twist?
I'm not going to tell you to the end. I'm going to let you guess. But
guess what the twist is?
Well, no. I'll tell you what the twist is, but you have to guess based on the questions.
Gotcha.
So we're going to start off right off the bat at number 10 with the U.S. This is called the Great American Challenge.
Now you're not telling us what the twist is?
No, I won't tell you the twist until the end.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead.
Okay. So, the Great American Challenge. This is less of a drinking game and more of an intoxication triathlon. Isn't that a great combination of words? Intoxication triathlon.
Awful. I'm not a big drinker, but man.
Teams of 4 must compete to first conquer a 30-pack of beer, then triumph over an 1/8 of an ounce of marijuana, then prevail over 2 large pizzas, and finally, after all 3 of those, complete a 100-piece puzzle before midnight. The order of the first 3 events doesn't matter. You can vary those. And mostly it is a matter of who can complete it as opposed to who finishes first. You have to do the puzzle at the very end. That's the last competition. Those who complete the challenge win nothing but glory and bragging rights over their friends.
Does it say what time this starts?
Nope.
You have till midnight, so you can start it like
4.
12 hours before.
What do you think would be the hardest part about that?
Well, how many people are on a team?
4 per team. So 30 beers isn't too bad.
Okay.
I don't know how much. I'm not a pot smoker, so I don't know how much an 1/8 of an ounce of marijuana is. Is that a lot?
I don't know either. I think it's like one of them 20 bag things, maybe.
What's a 20 bag?
I would say like this much, but that doesn't help.
That doesn't help a listener.
No.
Looks like a pickle.
Yeah, like the size of a pickle.
That's a lot.
Or maybe like when the pickles are like quartered or put in half.
A spear?
Yeah, spear.
Huh.
Like maybe like a spear, pickle spear. But even then, that's a lot. So I've heard.
But you can do the puzzle first?
No, has to be last.
Puzzle has to
So
be
you have to have done all first 3 of those things. So drink 30 beers, smoke an 1/8 or consume an 1/8 of an ounce of
I
marijuana.
could be wrong. Maybe it's smaller.
But you have a
amount of weed.
team of 4.
Yep.
So you could have 3 people do all of that and the 4th person do the puzzle.
I don't know if that's
It's a team of 4. I mean,
interesting.
there are no bylaws
sober
here.
person can do the puzzle.
So 2
My
people
team
drink the
rules.
beer. No.
You can't have one person smoke that much marijuana. That's going to be one stone motherfucker.
There's no way. Yeah,
No.
Oh my god! I don't think that's an 8 though. I don't know.
I don't know how
I
much
don't
it
know. It's
An 1/8 of what? Like regular or like...
An 1/8 of an ounce
High
of...
class
look, I don't know
kind.
Purple Kush from the next thing. I have no clue.
well, okay.
Is it-
I don't. Okay.
Is this medicinal?
when I don't know. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh, Tach was about to come into some revelations there. All right.
Maybe I'll tell the story off here. How's that?
That sounds good. All right, so moving along. All right, so number 9, we're going to go to Hong Kong. This is called the Hong Kong Animal Spirit. One of the traditions they have there is to put dead animals in alcohol and let it sit there for multiple years. It supposedly puts the properties of that animal into the alcohol so that you become like the animal when you drink it.
Ew.
Cobra
Gross.
wine, for example,
I've heard of that.
is supposed to give you the strength of a cobra. A tiger penis vodka is supposed to be for virility. You know what virility is, Ty?
Is that like fertility?
Dick strong.
Dick strong,
Yes.
strong leg bull.
I drink that all the time.
And sex drive.
Mm-hmm.
They put turtles in another alcohol and geckos in another. So they put all these animals in all these different alcohols to consume the essence
Yeah,
of that
the-
animal.
Power of insurance.
I see what you did there.
See what I did there?
But they really believe there's a connection with these animals. So that's one of Hong Kong's traditions. Be some shitty tasting wine, some all fermented animal up in your beer.
yeah, that sounds
I would just
not
be
good.
sick before I was.
I've
even
heard about the
drunk.
Cobra one before. I think I've had some buddies that are
Well,
drinking that.
You know that you've ever heard of horny goat weed and those types of pills that you can buy at like the convenience stores that are supposed to make your
Can you buy
libido-
like a
I don't
pickle
think they have
spear?
goat in them.
No, those are supposed to have animal byproducts in them that you're supposed to. It's supposed to enhance certain things.
Does the same thing happen if I eat a hamburger? I get the power of the cow.
She's onto something.
Power of the cow.
You are definitely onto something.
How is she on something? But that's cooked.
Not fermented every years. Is that what the difference is? Is that how you
Yeah,
get the
that's
essence?
a big difference.
Listen, let's just put it this way: there is no living.
Riding cow, fresh cow.
The Twisted Tin does not endorse consuming of animal products that have been in alcohol for
No.
several years,
Definitely not. I don't endorse it
and
either.
we lean on the edge of scientific data, and there is none to support this.
So what do you get from the worm and the tequila?
Drunk?
To see the donkey show for free. That's actually an urban legend. There has never been a worm in a bottle of tequila by manufacturing ever once.
What?
They sell
They're-
popsicle or little lollipops with the worm.
Those
in
are
'em.
those are novelties. There's never been a company that has produced a tequila brand with a worm in the bottle ever.
So who puts the worm in it?
Bars. That's the only way that a worm would ever get inside a tequila bottle.
All right.
Urban legends.
Huh.
Throwback to one of your episodes, Tach.
Right?
All right, moving right along. Let's move over to Sweden.
Was that French?
Yeah,
Swedish,
I don't know.
right?
From Sweden.
Sweden, yeah. All right, so Sweden Viking. It's all about eye contact in this Scandinavian country. A throwback to Viking days when making eye contact while toasting was necessary to avoid a broadsword to the stomach. Eye contact is now more of a social necessity than life-preventing. A return gaze when clinking glasses is a sign of mutual respect. So a tradition
That's
when you're in
creepy.
Sweden, if you don't clink glasses with eye contact and maintain that eye contact,
How long?
I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds. I don't.
It's important in Germany too.
Is it really?
Yeah, with Kirsten, every time we do a cheers together, she wants to make sure every time a glass clinks, you look at her in the eye.
Really?
It's very important in Germany.
Maybe she's part Swedish.
Well, that's Switzerland.
Yeah.
Which ones are known as the nice Germans? Isn't that Switzerland?
Kirsten is
Or
known as the
Sweden?
nice German.
Yeah. She's got a girlfriend that she works with that's just sweet. Actually, she has the Twisted Tin studio podcast Oliver's brother, Bruno.
Have I met this girl? I think I met her, didn't I?
Yeah, you met her the night we all went out. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's sweet.
Not Sweden. Not Swedish.
Not Swedish.
She's not Swedish. She's not sweet.
Swedish, yeah. I can't. I don't do voices very well.
That was
However, I did
decent.
get a compliment from Ron on my Obama voice that I did last week.
Gotcha.
All right, so moving right along. That
What
was number
number?
8. We are
Yeah.
now on number 7.
Number 7.
This is called Sicily Sobriety.
Italian?
Is Sicily is Italian? I'm not good with geography.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Drinking is an obvious pastime for Sicilians. There was a drink called the autista, which means driver, as in designated driver. They invented this drink to keep people going, to sober them up so that they can drink more. So kind of an ingenious bar back type of gag to get people to continue to drink.
water.
No, it's a bunch of ingredients, but the most important one is baking soda. They put it in at the very end so it looks like a volcano. The trick is you have to drink it before the beer or the drink bubbles over. You burp, but it settles all the acids in your stomach. And coincidentally has zero effect on sobriety. So it's just a bar gag.
So you're
drink.
chugging a drink of alcohol to make yourself sober.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily say it's got alcohol in it, but it has baking soda and a bunch of other ingredients. They didn't identify the ingredients that were on this website that were in the drink. But the Sicily Sobriety. What if we go to a bar that claims to know all the drinks in the world and you order, I want the Sicily Sobriety, please. Wonder if they would know what the hell that is.
Maybe you should make a bet and say they have to buy you a drink if you can't make a drink that you could pick.
I like the idea. Let's try it next
We'll
time we
try
go
it.
out.
Yep, definitely.
All right, cool.
Cool.
All right, so the next one. We're on number 6 out of the
6.
twisted traditions, the twisted drinking traditions or games from around the world.
Okay.
Number 6 is called Wizard Staff.
Wizard staff.
You ever heard of this one?
My nickname in high school.
Levioso. No, I'm just kidding. Prove yourself the mightiest of mages and the most spectacular of sorcerers with a game of Wizard Staff. Throughout the night of spells, spirits, and slurred speech, every time a wizard finishes a beer, cans, he must tape his new beer on top using a single layer wrap of tape, duct tape, for example. The challenge comes from keeping your staff together whilst drinking from the top. So do you understand what you're doing?
Yeah.
You drink a beer down, you stack another one on top and tape it, and you open that, then drink that. So as you go on the night, it gets bigger and bigger. At any time, other wizards may challenge one another with Gandalf's famous utterance, "You shall not pass," and proceed to swing their scepters together until one breaks. The weaker wizard must drink the equivalent of how many cans were broken off the scepter.
Wow.
Ooh, I'm going to play that, but I'm going to get some as seen on TV laser bond. Sneak that around my staff. No one's going to
wait,
break
what?
me.
She's sneaking around her staff. Wait, what's going on?
It does sound pretty fun, though. That
The
sounds
wizard
pretty
staff
cool.
sounds pretty fucking cool, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I'm going to keep my staff big and hard all night.
I am grabbing that soundbite and using that for something. I don't know what yet. All right. So that was number 6. We go 10 to 6, take a break, and come back and finish the last 5. So out of those first 5, Tach,
Yeah.
do you know what my twist may be?
No.
It doesn't have anything to do with making them up. None of these are made up. I'll tell
That's
you that
good.
now.
Okay. That was my first go-to,
Yep, none.
but then no, I have no idea.
All right. So
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Is it because I told you?
I don't know, is it?
I don't remember if I told you or not.
I could
All right.
just be making that up.
And you won't believe what happens next after the break. Hey, this is Adam. This week's Twisted 10 is brought to you by just Tach and myself. We don't have a sponsor for this week's show. So Tach and I have been talking a lot about having sponsorships in our podcast, weighing the pros and the cons. You know, we're a big fan of having more content than advertising. So as opposed to listening to a radio show where 40% of your time that you're listening to the show is built around sponsorships, Tach and I think that the content delivery is far more important. While the delivery of content of a podcast is paramount to the success of the show, sometimes you got to have sponsors to help cover some of the bills. While we do have 2 sponsors currently for both of our shows, that's the Twisted 10, which is this show, and Living Podcariously, which is another show that Tach and I produce, a little bit more raw and rough. We do have some opportunities that are coming up for other sponsors. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor of the Twisted 10 or Living Podcariously, shoot us an email at show@livingpodcariously.com, and we'll get back with you with the contract details. Welcome back to the Twisted 10. I'm going to recap the first 5 for you, Tach.
Cool.
And Andrea. So these are the twisted drinking traditions or games from around the world. Number 10 was the Great American Challenge, starting it off in the U.S. Number 9 was the Hong Kong Animal Spirit. Number 8 was the Sweden Viking. Sweden, yeah. Number 7 was the Sicily Sobriety. And number 6 was Wizard Staff. Also a U.S. one, by the way.
I do like that one. That one's cool.
So moving on to number 5.
Number 5.
This is Australia Goon of Fortune. Have you ever heard of this before?
No.
Never.
All right. The folks from Down Under bring us a dizzying game based on the popular game show Wheel of Fortune. In order to capture the authentic Australianness of the game, be sure to use proper vocab in polite company. To say the game, peg any number of goosenecks, that's boxed wine, to a Hills hoist, that's a type of rotating clothesline. So imagine a spinning clothesline in a circle, and have everyone stand in a circle around it. Give it a good spin, and players must get a mouthful of whatever goon stops in front of them. So back this up just so you get the picture here. You get a spinning, rotating clothesline, get a bunch of friends, get a bunch of boxed wines that are multiple colors, put them up there and spin it around. And wherever it stops, that person has to take that drink. Be sure your variety of goon bags reflects the variety of colors on Wheel of Fortune wheel, and fill one with plain water to play as the bankrupt space. Play until no one can spin anymore.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Yes. So that's
Crikey.
Crikey, mate. I couldn't do the accent on Goosenacks, Hills Hoist, or Peg, or any of the other ones. What can I say? I'm just a goon bag myself. All right, moving right along. Tour de Franzia.
Number 4.
Number 4. Tour de Franzia. You know what Franzia is?
I know what France is.
Franzia, think drinking. That's boxed wine again.
Oh.
The
okay.
Franzia boxed wine. Haven't you ever seen that at the stores?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm the only boxed wine drinker. Drunk athletes can prove themselves a regular Lance Liverstrong. Haha, get it? Lance Armstrong, Lance Liverstrong. By competing in the Tour de Franzia. Teams of 4 compete in a relay where each player must endeavor a chug Franzia boxed wine and complete a lap on a bike, which can be anything from a neighborhood block to an obstacle course. While the first teammate is on their lap, the second rider chugs as much Franzia as possible before passing off the bag to the next person and riding.
Jeez.
What the first team to finish their Franzia and laps wins is up to whoever's running the league. But everyone gets scrapes, bruises, and possibly missing teeth for participating. So do you get the idea here?
A box of wine is like 4 bottles of wine.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a team of 4 people.
You should not chug wine.
Well, the idea here is to compete. This is a competition. This isn't a relaxing wine drinking afternoon here. This is you're in a competition with your competitors here to beat them.
So puking is fine.
I
You
guess.
can
I mean,
keep going.
that's up to the organizer. That's up to the coordinator.
Ugh.
I think that would be a pretty fun little challenge. So you get
I don't know about that
bicycles.
one.
You get bicycles.
Yeah.
You set up either an obstacle course or a lap around a neighborhood. Our new neighborhood would be perfect for that.
No, it won't.
It's a long lap too, and you make them go around and
That's
around
what
and
your dad
around.
said. Sorry.
What? It's long.
It's a long lap. I'm sorry.
Long lap. I don't.
Sorry. It's like little dog laps.
No. Okay. Well, I'll take your word for it, Tach.
Andrea dog laps.
She'll laugh. You just look at her and she'll laugh. Do it.
No, I didn't do
No,
it.
it didn't work.
Didn't work
I'm
out, did it?
tough. I'm strong.
All right, so
It just turned me on, that's all.
Right? See what I did to her?
All right, so number 4 was Tour de Franzia. Number 3,
Number 3.
Japan's Round Table. So Japan takes social drinking very seriously. So knowing the ins and outs of drinking with your pals is vital to avoid offense. Because, Japanese in their culture, if you do something incorrectly, they can take offense very, very easily. First things first, never pour your own beer when out with friends. So if you go out in a group of friends, you touch your own beer to pour it, that's considered rude or insensitive.
Damn, we just gotta sit there with an empty glass till somebody goes, "Would you like some more?"
Is that why you always make me pour your beer?
Damn right. Each round calls for a chief pourer. You must plan to go as many rounds as there are people, with one pourer per round who fills everyone's glasses. Repeat the process until each participant has poured. So, if you're going out drinking with a group of buddies, like let's say on a bachelor party or something, and you're in Japan, and you got 10 guys, guess what? That's 10 rounds of drinks, my friend. You have to drink them. Not drinking your drink is considered offensive. Drinking or filling up your own glass, considered offensive. So keep that in mind if you happen to be in Japan going out with a group of guys. Or you may want to sit with a smaller group if you don't want to drink that many.
Yeah.
But it's considered rude. If you leave the table without drinking after everyone has poured, you're kind of the douche.
Hey!
All right, number 2.
Number 2
and number 1 are by far my favorite on this list, by the way.
Number 2 and number... Oh, sorry.
So this comes from Germany.
Oh, props to Kirsten and her homeland.
I've heard of this before as well. This is German Stump, or also known as its better name, Hammerschlagen. Have you ever heard of Hammerschlagen before?
That
No.
sounds very familiar.
This sounds like something I would really, really
Was
like
that
to
your
do.
nickname in high school?
Hammerschlagen? No. Mine was actually Postman, because I was Poston, and it sounded like Postman. Yeah.
We have a Poston at my work.
Really? Small world. All right, so Hammerschlagen or German Stump. For those of you looking to get really hammered in both senses of the word, there's a game for you. To play, you need 1 hammer, 1 tree stump, and 1 nail for every player that you have on the team, and lots of beers. Everyone takes their turn trying to hammer down everyone else's nails, whether it's the nails in the stump or the nails in the other player's fingers, but players can't simply swing the hammer. It must be flipped once in the air, caught, and brought down immediately. Hit someone else's nail, they drink. Miss, you drink. Hit your own nail, and you have to drink all of your drink. So, think about it. You've got a tree stump in front of you,
Yep.
and 1 nail driven just a tiny bit in for every player that's there, and each one is identified maybe with a Sharpie or something for whose is whose.
Right.
And it's your turn, Tach. You grab the hammer, you flip it in the air, catch it, and straight down onto the nail that you're aiming for. If you miss, you drink. And the idea also is to try to get it into 1 hit. So you immediately nail that person's nail all the way, or hammer that person's nail all the way down into the tree stump.
I get it every time.
Would you?
Yep.
Are you good at nailing?
I'm totally good at nailing.
Are you good at working with stumps? Because that's what I got working with. Stumps.
I'm good at working with anything.
Hammers?
They call me MacGyver.
Sweet.
Wow.
So that is German Stump or Hammerschlagen.
Take
All right.
me to Germany. I'll show you.
Okay. The number 1 twisted drinking tradition or game from around the world.
Yep.
It's a U.S. game. We're wrapping it up with the U.S.
Here we go.
God bless the USA.
This is a game of U.S. of A battle shots.
Oh, yeah, Battle Shots.
Have you heard of battle shots?
I played
I
Battle
haven't.
Shots.
It's everybody's favorite maritime warfare board game with an alcoholic twist. You know Battleship, right? Okay. Every time one of your shot ship's section gets hit, you must sink it down your gullet. So, you know how a battleship has, has got all of the different pieces. Some are 5 hits wide, some are 3, whatever. Well, instead, those represent shots. So on a potential board of yours, you might have 25 shots on your board. If somebody shoots you and hits you, you have to do the shot wherever it landed, corresponding with the location where that shot was sitting. If the way it's traditionally enjoyed by college students in pajamas playing on old pizza boxes with crappy grids drawn on it doesn't sound fun enough to you, you can actually buy the Battle Shots, trademarked, box set from your local game store. Okay, so that's all of them. I'm going to read you back all 10 before I give you guys my twist on this.
All right.
So, number 10, the Great American Challenge. Do you remember what that one was?
That was where you had to drink and like
It's like a triathlon.
pizza and
Marijuana.
Smoke the
Yeah.
pickle.
Yep.
yeah.
Hong Kong Animal Spirit.
Yeah.
You drink the dead animal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sweden Viking, Sicily Sobriety, Wizard Staff, Australian Goon of Fortune, Tour de Franzia, Japan's Round Table, German Stump or Hammerschlagen, finally, U.S. Battle Shots. So, the twist, Tach and Andrea.
Yeah.
I have done 2 of these games.
Okay.
I never finished 2 of them, but I played 2 of them.
Right.
So, based on what you know of me, let's see if you can guess which 2 I've done before.
I'm thinking USA. We have 3 from the USA.
I'm gonna say Battle Shots.
Battle Shots I did, and I kind of gave it away because I started saying my friend, my buddy Josh over in Tampa, listener to the podcast, and also one of our sponsors that occasionally sponsors our shows with Raven a Box. He had a party over at his place, and sure enough, I walked in and I saw Battle Shots set up. I'd never seen it before in my life, and that game was set up. So yeah,
I played Battle Shots before.
we played it with pairs, so it wasn't just one person doing all the shots on the table. So one person wasn't too bad. So there's
Wizard
one.
Staff?
Bingo, spot on.
Really?
Yeah, Wizard
Nice.
Staff. Wizard Staff is probably the funnest drinking game, because people get very creative with their wizard staffs and start to protect them and make them like a trinket that they're carrying around. And yeah, it is quite interesting. And they get so big, you can't. They're bending to the point like you've got 5 or 6 of them on the ground, and they're starting to come up, and then you're starting to tilt it over. Yeah, it's difficult. It's fun, but it's
Laser bond will hold it together.
Yeah, we'll have to get some of that
We're
stuff.
going to get that before we have it at our party.
Definitely.
We won't tell anyone we have laser bond, though. We'll be in the back, like, with the little light laser bonding them together.
You know what laser bond is, Tach?
Yeah. Sure thing.
That's
Yeah.
seen on TV.
Super glue with the UV light that makes an extra super bond
right.
on it. It's a gimmick, but whatever. Speaking of gimmicks, I got gimmicked out of letting somebody wash or like take off the yellow off of my headlights the other day. I was at a gas station, and these bums come up to me, "Hey, we've got the stuff to clean off your..."
What do you use? Because I did this just recently too.
Did it work?
Well, what did you use?
I don't know. They used some stuff.
Oh.
It might have been bum piss. I don't know what it was.
It was.
A buddy of mine said at work, he goes, "Hey, if you use dark woods off, that it helps get it off." So I was like, and we had some laying around the guard shack, and I was like, "All right,
You wasted that?
what are you talking about? Waste it?
That's
We
for
have tons of
mosquitoes.
it, right? We have tons of it at work."
It's precious
So
stuff.
we I took it out there, sprayed and wiped out. Sure enough, it took off all that crap on there, but it's not perfectly right. It's a little better. When you first do it, it looks amazing. You're like, holy shit. Like, yeah, it clears it right up. But it still came back a little bit, but it's not as bad at all.
Huh, may have to do that.
Yeah. There is one game that, I'm sure there's tons of games you didn't mention.
There
but
were tons and tons and tons of them.
there's one that, I don't remember the name of it, but I had played, well, I said I didn't play it, but I was kind of the, what's it called when you're like not playing, but you're in charge of it?
Organizer?
All right, let's use that. But I was like the organizer
Master
of the game.
of ceremonies?
Yeah.
Host?
Host, whatever. You get the idea. So we kept calling the game Century 21 because we couldn't remember the name of the game. But,
All right.
but it was basically like, it had the word century in it, I think. But and it's the only word we could remember. And anyway, it's like 100 shots of beer in 100 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
Holy shit.
Have you heard of this? No. Well, that's the challenge, is do 100 shots of beer in 100 minutes. And people were like, a shot of beer? Anybody can do a shot of beer, you know? So everybody's like, well, let's try it. And I say everybody, is probably like 5 or 6 people were attempting this. And I was going to be the one that kept the time and filled the glasses and things like that. Or they filled glasses, I was just timekeeper. So if that's a good word for me, I was the timekeeper.
All right.
So, okay, so what's really interesting about this game, when you're the sober one and watching the game happen, is hilarious. Okay, I recommend it. Be the timekeeper if somebody recommends playing the game at a party. So, starts off, you're like, okay, guys, got your shot glasses. Everybody has their shot glass. Okay, fill up the glasses, you know, or whatever shot is, you know, which is 1.5 ounces, I think. So we fill up the glasses. All right, cool. And you're like, okay, get ready. And they're like, okay, go. So everybody takes the shot, puts a glass down. And then, you know, that you have to wait for the next minute. So everybody's like, this game's going to take forever. And people are like, I'm like, well, fill your glasses while we're waiting. So they're all filling. And I'm like, hold on, just wait. Okay, get ready. Go. So everybody takes the next shot. And then now we're just sitting around again. And we're like,
Yeah.
this is boring. Okay. And that goes on for a few more minutes. Then people start feeling it a little bit. So now it eventually turns into they're sitting around waiting to already, because now time's going faster.
Yeah.
And then once you get up to like around 12, 13, 14, 15, people start going, I'm put some music on. I'm like, no. You have to come back. We're getting ready. And now you're like babysitting a bunch of children.
Herding cats.
Yeah. Counting kittens in a box. That's kind of what you're doing now. And then like, you have like, well, I have to go to the bathroom. Well, take the shot with you because we're about to go in like 12 seconds. And like, already we just took a shot. Like, now you have people having conversations. Somebody's wanting to put music on. Somebody has to go to the bathroom. And you're like, no, everybody come back. And then eventually you're done when you puke. Or unless you just say you're done, like you can't do anymore. And people didn't make it as high as I thought you would. Like
what, like maybe 40 or something?
Not even that high, like 22, I think.
Wow, really?
And the people
22 shots, really?
People were puking at like in the high teens, 20s, and I think we didn't even go any further in like mid 20s.
Holy shit.
Mostly because a few people puked and people just lost interest in the game because they didn't want to sit around and keep having to come back.
We are the generation of ADD.
They're getting hot. They want to put music on. They want to bullshit. They want, they don't want to be distracted by.
After 10 shots, I'd be like, I'm done.
It's hilarious to watch as the sober guy. It was so funny.
I wanted to talk about the game of Pass Out because that's my favorite, by far my favorite drinking game to play. No, it is so much fun. Let me put it this way: I'm an expert at this game, and I deem myself an expert purposefully because I've played it more than anyone I know, and I have yet to complete one of these games. Essentially, the game is your objective is to collect 10 of these pink elephant cards. The pink elephant cards have riddles, or not riddles, but they're tongue twisters on the back. And all that you have to do is read the card to keep the card. Right. Now, if you screw it up 3 times in a row, you have to drink that corresponding number of drinks, but you still get to keep your card. So let's say you pick it up and Silly Sally sells seashores by the sea. Whatever. If you screw it up, and your judges is all your opponents. So if you screw it up, you have to take a drink.
Right.
And then if you screw it up again, and then again, you're 2 more drinks, but the card stays in your pocket.
Gotcha.
Well, the catch is there's other additional cards on the board that could allow somebody to steal a card if they say it correctly.
Okay.
There's sections on the board where it says this color player has to take a drink. Some cards say these
it's
all
not
players
at all.
that all players take a drink. There's one called Light Up, but since my group doesn't smoke pot, we do a waterfall. So the person who landed on Light Up starts drinking, and then nobody stops until they stop. So if they drink their whole drink, everybody has to drink. Whatever. It's a lot of consuming of alcoholic beverages. The problem with the game is as you continue to play, as people get drunker and drunker, these cards, the tongue twisters get harder and harder. So as you're reading it and you start to get more mad and frustrated, the cards end up taking the damage. What?
You say they get harder and harder. Is that because you're getting more drunk, or because the cards are in order and they're
not in order? Some of them are harder than others, yes, but no, they're more difficult because you're. So if you start reading your tongue twister, so Sally sells seashells by the seashore. All right, something pretty basic and straightforward. If you're drunk or starting to get tipsy, you're starting to laugh because everybody's waiting for you to screw up. Yeah. Well, as soon as you start and laugh, you just screwed up. You have to drink. Yeah. And that's just a domino effect on top of itself, man. It just keeps adding up and adding up. I've had cards, and I just bought a new set of this game, but I've had cards that were literally ripped in half that I had taped back together because somebody got so mad because they couldn't say it because it was a long one. Dude, it is such a fun game. It's a lot of fun.
That's cool. I enjoy just the classic beer pong. I love that game. So
yeah, I like beer pong too. What about you, Andrea? What drinking games have you done?
7 Minutes in Heaven.
That's not it.
Can we do that now?
That's after you finish the bottle and you spin it around.
I've never done any of those kind of games.
I did it at a couple parties.
Truth or Dare.
I did
middle
it
school.
Last week.
Yeah.
Is that on the cruise?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not supposed to talk about what happened on the cruise.
What happens on the cruise stays on the cruise.
Exactly.
All right. You want to call it a night?
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, cool. You're next week, buddy.
Yeah.
We may have our boy Ron coming in, but I'm not sure. Do you have a teaser for your episode just in case?
Oh, man, I should.
That's all right.
I was even thinking about it today. Like, what am I going to do? I totally forgot that I need to do a teaser.
That's all right. It's all good. We may have Ron coming in next week anyway, so we should be okay. I didn't provide a teaser for this one, so it's all right. We don't always have to have a teaser in there. We don't always have to teaser. We don't always have to have a twist.
I can always be the tease for you.
Well, you're enough of a tease for this whole studio.
Yeah.
Andrea, thank you so much for coming into the Twisted 10 this week. We
Indeed.
appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You always brighten up our studio.
Oh, thank you guys.
Before we get out of here tonight, we do want to thank somebody very special to us, at least tonight, for a new syndication station that the Twisted 10 has been picked up on.
Right?
Yeah, that's important. Pretty cool stuff for us. So it's John Sweeney from 102.7 WSNR. That's the ultimate in rock, and it's the #1 rock internet radio station in the world. They're also playing some podcasts and some talk radio. So he's picked us up actually on both of our shows, Living Podcariously and the Twisted 10. So if you are listening from there, please hit us up on Facebook. Give us some love. Let us know that you're hearing us on his station. We'd greatly appreciate it. And thank you, John. We appreciate you picking us up and putting us on your air.
Yes, sir. And if anybody has any questions for us or ideas for topics, hit us up at thetwisted10@gmail.com.
All right, so on behalf of Tach and myself, Adam, as well as our guest in studio this week, Miss Andrea Joy, thank you for listening to the Twisted 10. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Goodbye.